Hello, scholars, and welcome back to week 2 of CJ485 Methods of Research in Criminal Justice. Well, I hope that we all had a successful first week of this course and that we hopefully as well had an enjoyable 4th of July weekend. Now, as we move forward and have some foundation, we are now look forward to putting together our thoughts in order to ultimately make our prospectus for our research project. In week 1, you were introduced to the research process in your reading, and you were asked to come up with 5 topics and write on 5 individual topics on why these topics why you're interested in these various topics. Now, for many of you, you took that assignment and you not only included your research topic, but you also started to narrow it down into potential research questions. And while I'm going to be talking to you as a whole, and why some of this might not apply, take this to heart as you move forward. Remember, the 5 topics that I asked for you, that is very broad. And being broad is exactly what we're looking for at the early stages of any research. You were thinking of a topic in which you were interested in, and that becomes a very broad spectrum of thought. From that, we are now then going to go through a process of narrowing that single topic down. Then that one topic will be narrowed down even farther into a research question that is both manageable and something that research can actually answer. Many of you provided questions or topics on problems that society, voters, legislators would answer, not a researcher. You're not going to answer should we get rid of the death penalty? That is not for a researcher to answer. We are going to answer much more specific questions that a scientific method can utilize to maybe not answer, but to add insight into that question. So let's use the example I used in week 1. Remember, my topic was school resource officers, or this is what I had put in the prospectus video, or the the scientific methods process in week 1 video. So remember, I talked about, if you haven't seen that, view it. If you have, we talked about how my broad topic would have been to the fact that I'm interested in school shootings and school violence. That topic really seems interesting to me because 1, it's in the media. 2, I have young children that go to school. 3, it seems to be something that I didn't experience when I was in school, and it's something that kids now need to experience. And the question kind of goes through my mind is why? Why is there more school violence, school shootings? Is it because it's reported on? Is it because the media actually is reporting that they didn't in the past, or has violence increased? So all these topics are going through my head, but my overall topic is school-related violence. Then, from that, I need to narrow that down because 1, I know that's that's too broad of a topic. 2, I know that why school violence occurs is not a researchable topic. That is not a topic that is going to be answered through a research process. So I then thought to myself, well, what could I research that? And remember, I came up with the idea of a school resource officer, that some schools have school resource officers and some do not. And does a school having a school resource officer, how could I make that into a research question? Then I could narrow it down even more and say, oh, what is the difference in crime rates between schools that have resource officers and schools that do not? And then that becomes a manageable research topic, and that could even be narrowed even more when we could maybe narrow that into certain school districts, certain geographical areas. What does school resource officers, or what is the crime reduction in such and such school district, such and such area that have school resource officers as opposed to schools that don't in certain school districts, and I can even narrow that down even more. So I hope that that helps as we move forward into our week 2. Now, before we go into our week 2 topics, I wanted to once again ensure that each and every one of you has either read through the course syllabus or viewed the course syllabus video. That specifically outlines the grading for this course and particularly the late policy, which some of you had issues with here in the first week. And I needed to make it very clear that the late policy is you can read it in the course in the syllabus and you can view a more detailed explanation of it in the syllabus video. I also want to ensure that each one of you watch the prospectus video that outlines the rubric and what is expected for the final critical the critical assignment for this class, the prospectus that you're going to create. And even from the screenshot, you can see that we're going to go through those 5 portions that are going to be to make up. And for a lot of us, we've already established a portion of that, and that really describes that modular design of building a prospectus and how each week we're going to build another block and another block, and eventually we're going to have all the pieces that you will connect for your critical assignment. So I make these videos for a reason, and I hope that you're viewing them, and if you're not, you're cheating yourself, because these videos, I believe, will really help you down the path of being successful in this course. So then finally, we're going to transition into our week 2, and what is expected and what we are going to look for here in week 2. So in week 2, if we look at the weekly agenda, there's a reading assignment. That's going to be our chapter 3, General Issues in Research Design. There's going to be a PowerPoint lecture, a literature review, and APA formatting. There is several videos that are going to help you walk you through different portions of the prospectus and of research that will help you visually, audioly, just a different person's perspective on how to walk you through these steps, which I think will be very beneficial. Then we have assignment 2, quiz 2, and discussion board 2. Remember, all of these are going to be due on week 2, day 7. So now let's look through these individually. So we have a PowerPoint lecture on the literature review. Remember, that is going to be your second chapter in your prospectus. And the literature review is going to be that annotated bibliography that you're going to do, which you're going to introduce the reader of your study to all the related articles, scholarly works, similar research that is out there that you're going to be basing your study on. So that is going to be the PowerPoint on the literature review. There is a video that's associated with that in how to write the literature review that kind of gives you an overview of the literature review. Then there is a PowerPoint on an annotated bibliography and how to write an annotated bibliography. This, once again, is going to be that list of all the references, and with each one of those references, you're simply going to give an explanation of first the format. You're going to format the reference, and then a quick detailed of why this is and what's the application of this reference. Why have you included this reference? Why is it important to your study, and how it applies to your study? And then that takes us in to our assignment number 2. Remember, this is going to be one of those additional building blocks. It is due Sunday, July 15th at 11:59, so week 2, day 7. There is 25 points of possible, and for this we're going to answer each of the following questions using 3 to 5 sentences for question 2, 3 to 5 sentences for questions 2 and 3. So, what is your research topic? So you're going to take one of those 5 topics that you submitted in week 1, and you're going to then the one that you are most excited about, the one that you feel that you can do the best work on, the one that's most applicable, whatever, you're going to choose one of your research topics. And from that, you're going to then write 3 to 5 sentences per questions. Why is this important? Who would be interested in reading what you have written? And what journals or websites did you use to research this your topic? Use proper APA formatting and list at least 3 specific articles or books that you can use in your annotated bibliography that is due in week 4. So this is going to be the week where we're going to then take our 5 topics. We're going to reduce it to 1 topic. you should be able to ask, why is this important? Why is this an important topic? And why is this an important topic that someone would want to have research on? And then who would be interested in reading this? Note that this is an important question to ask before you design your study. The answer is not everybody. Determine if the audience for your topic is the general public or learned professionals, law enforcement officers, judge. Who would be interested in reading your topic? Who would this be then in a way written for? And then finally, we're asking for a few references. And when I mean few, at least 3, that we're going to use a proper APA formatting. And these are going to be the journals or websites that you've looked at that are going to explain the topic, maybe the definitions of the topic, maybe some recent occurrences where your topic was in the news, in the media, was already researched upon, and you're going to explain, because then that's going to give it that academic connection. And with that, you have the rubric that's going to be associated with that. So once again, that is going to be assignment number 2, where we're going to take our 5 topics, narrow it down into 1 topic, and you should be able to write. And once again, if you have troubles answering especially questions in 2 and 3, it's probably because your research topic isn't that good. Or you maybe have a very broad topic, or it's not a topic or a topic that is applicable. If you can answer why it's important, why is this important? Why would we need to do research on this? And why is there actually someone that would want to read this? Then you probably have a decent research topic. And if you struggle with this concept, then there is a video here that is, once again, how to narrow your topic. And this Dr. Davis, I've used several of her videos, and she does a very good job. It's a short video on explaining how to take a large topic and narrow it down into a research topic. So I hope that you view this video, and I think that could really help you with your assignment number 2. Then we have our quiz number 2. Your quiz number 2 is going to be on APA formatting, and you're going to find that this is that additional book, our APA formatting book that was listed, and you're not going to find this in our text, on our research method text. This is going to be in that additional text on APA formatting. So when you take this, I believe there's 10 questions or so. They are all APA related. So once you open it, you can save your answers and come back to it and later, or there is no time limit on this quiz, but once it is open, you must complete it in one sitting. So have the adequate time set aside to be able to complete it, because once you start it, you need to finish it in one setting. But this will be one of these quizzes where you might need to do some additional research, some additional to get some additional answers to various APA formatting. And I always believe that, and even in today when I'm doing my academic writing, I constantly have to look up APA standards. For some people, they write enough that the basics are there, but some of the particulars, how to reference a book wrote by 8 authors, sometimes that is still confusing to me. So Purdue OWL, is one of those reference sites. The books, the internet in general, to get some good 6th edition APA formatting for how to reference, and this test is based upon that, so be prepared for that. And then finally, we have our Week 2 discussion board. And on our Week 2 discussion board, you are going to take that topic and you're going to share it with your classmates for the reason why you have selected it. So you're going to say, hey, blank, this is my blank topic. This is why it's my topic. You can see how this discussion board builds off of your Week 2 assignment. Much of what you're going to tell your classmates is what you're going to tell me in your Week 2 assignments, and you're going to share that. And then I expect you to give feedback to at least 2 of your classmates. Now remember, I put some word counts here. 300 word minimum for your original post and 200 word for your replies. I don't want to hear that sounds like a good topic. Good job, though that's not adding to this academic conversation. I want at least 300 words, a good thorough explanation, and then 200 word replies, adding to their thoughts, giving them any concerns that you might have on the topic, anything that you have heard about that topic, directions or questions or suggestions. So that's what we're looking for in our discussion boards. And once again, due by the end of the week on day 7, Sunday by 11:59 p.m. So I know this video was a little bit long, but I wanted to give us a little bit more of that foundation, talk about a bit of the syllabus, some of the housekeeping, and to get us ready as we move forward. So once again, if you have any questions, concerns at all, email me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I hope that all of you have a very successful week too. I look forward to reading all of your assignments number 2 as I can see or I can start reading the evolution from a topic, from multiple topics to a single topic, and as we can see those research questions starting to evolve. So I look forward to that. I hope that you all have a blessed week. I will keep you in my thoughts and my prayers, and I look forward to talking to you later. Bye for now.